Hey guys, so today I'm back and I'm going to be showing you how to replace the changeover hose on the Dyson DC50. Now, how do you know if you need to replace your changeover hose? If your Dyson DC50 is not picking up very well on your floors and you have suction, maybe decent suction at your hose, but it's just not picking up well on your floors, and you've checked for clogs, you've cleaned the filter, and you're just not seeing anything, then you want to check your changeover hose, which is located right over here. And I'll just show you how it functions. First, I'm going to take this filter cover off and the nozzle and the cyclone just to kind of clear some space here. So I'm going to take the cyclone assembly off, and I'm going to take off the nozzle, which the nozzle comes off with this little red latch here. You're going to pull it back, and then the nozzle will lift up if you're, or it's going to go down technically, but you see what I mean. Now, the changeover hose, if you take off the filter cover here, this ball shell, you're going to unscrew this cover all the way and then lift it up. And then we're going to take this filter off, and you can actually see the changeover hose here, right here. Now you can see pretty clearly this hose is split. See that? So what this hose does is, when you have the machine in the back position for vacuuming floors, this hose is directing your suction to the floor, going out to the nozzle here. And then when you put it in the upright position, you can see it's going to change over, which is the name, change over and actually deliver suction to your tools. Now in this orientation, if you look closely, it's a little hard to see, but this orientation actually is not split. So sometimes what that will show you is you will actually have suction to your tool. You'll have suction at your hose, decent suction, and then when you flip to your floor, it's poor suction because it actually splits open. The hose is split on this end, and when you change it over this way, it actually sort of closes and crimps together that split, so you get better suction from here. So it can be a little confusing for people when they're trying to understand what's wrong. All right, so I'm going to show you how to replace this hose, and I'll include a part number in the description so you can order one yourself. And what you're going to need is some Torx screwdrivers. So you're going to need a Torx size T15 and then also a T8 Torx. So the easiest way to do is order yourself a set that has like all the different variations of sizes. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this cover here, and it's going to be 4 screws. Careful as you're pulling these screws out. These two here can fall into this motor compartment, so be careful not to drop those in there. If you need a magnet to stick there to protect it, then do that. All right, so once you get that filter cover off, it kind of exposes this area here a little bit better. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to flip it over, and you should be able to see 2 screws here when it's in the locked upright position. So you're going to see one small T8 screw here, right here, and then another one right here. Okay, yeah. So we're going to take those screws out, and those are going to be your T8 screws. Okay, this one's a screw that's about that size, like that, and then this other one as well. And if you have trouble, what you can do, a little trick, is if you want to magnetize your bit, just take a magnet, kind of rub it on the tip, and then that will magnetize the tip of the bit, which then you can grab your screws out a little easier. All right, so once you've got those 2 screws removed, then you can go ahead, and we're going to disengage this spring here. If you push this spring straight this way, push the bottom of this little spring here, you can see it right here, and we're going to push it out towards that way, and it just pops loose. You can see how it's hooked on there with that little hook on the end. Once you get there, then you can just lift this out of place, and it kind of wants to catch right here where my finger is, so you just have to move it out of the way a little bit, and then you lift lift it up out of there. Okay, from there you will see that there's going to be one more Torx screw to remove right there. So we'll go ahead and remove that. All right, and all those 3 small T8 screws are the same. And then this is gonna just slide up out of place. Now keep an eye on the orientation. Okay, we just lifted it straight up. Now if you look on this end here, you have a short end. And then on this end here, you have the longer end. So that's how you want to be careful. You want to look at that when you're reinstalling. This. So you see you've got a short end here, and that's going to be up top. And you've got the longer side here. So there's a notch that you're looking to slide this. See, if you look at this lip right here, that's going to be sliding down inside of, see that lip right there, and that notch, that's going to slide down in past there. And there's kind of a gasket here, and so it's got some compression, so you can kind of push it in. So make sure that thing's lined up. Make sure the gasket doesn't get bent. Make sure this gasket's not going to be bent or anything. So you're going to have to finagle it a little bit, get it in, and then kind of push it in. Just like that. Okay. And if you look closely here, you've got the black ridge here. This black ridge is behind this little channel here, or this little catch. Okay. On the other side of this, you have this swing assembly. It's kind of the frame that this goes into. Okay, see this section here? So that is going to be, you want that to be up here, and then you're going to slide your short section over top of that. So you kind of have to move around. There you go. All right, now our screw is going to go back in. You can just kind of move it back, and then we're going to put our T8 screw back in. Tighten that down. Then just swing it back around so you can see this opening here, and then we're going to drop this. We're going to drop this piece back in, and you can see the holes. It's going to go in here and here. We're going to slide this back in place like that. Get that spring kind of underneath there. Okay. And then you can go ahead and get your spring lined up. And it just hooks in this little black area. So right behind here, there's a little post, and that little hook section just kind of pops over it. So hopefully that's clear. All right, so now we flip it back over, and then we just put our 2 small T8 screws back in. Okay, just like that. So, and then now you want to just actuate this, and you kind of have to bump it pretty hard, so that's why you see me hitting it pretty good, because it's made for like your hands up there and you push down, so there's a pretty decent amount of leverage required to pop this loose. So so you can either stick it upright and test it, but in order, I just am, I'm looking at it from this angle, so I just pop it over and I just check to see if this is actuating back and forth correctly. And you want to see it creating a good seal here, and then flip back up and create a good seal there. So, okay. And then now what we're going to do is just, we've got that working properly, so we're going to put our filter cover, or our little filter piece back in and screw these 4 screws in, and you are good to go. So as I'm finishing up, let me just plug a few things. I finally got a cool feature where people can say thank you through a tip, and so those are appreciated if you can. This is what I do for a living, so I'm sharing my knowledge and experience with you guys to be helpful, but I also make a living with this. So if you thought this was valuable and helpful and it saved you money and you want to say thanks, you can use that option down on there. If not, no problem. Just let me know in the comments if this was helpful for you, or like and subscribe if you want to see more. So thanks a lot. Have a great day.